Hello, everyone.
It's always so exciting to see new names
Everyone.
on screen.
Yes. So, well, first of all, I would like to introduce you what it's Eurodesk for those that don't know what it is. We are a youth information network, and we provide information about mobility programs and opportunities for young people. And also during the month of October, we have this campaign, Time to Move. But first of all, I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Carmen. I'm the Campaigns and Audiovisual Officer at Eurodesk Brussels Link. And today I'm going to co-host this webinar with Laura Kisel from Eurodesk Estonia. And we will also have three or four young people sharing their experiences. And let's start with Time to Move. For those that don't know, it's a perfect moment for you to get informed about opportunities in Europe and also sometimes beyond. But this campaign, what it does is to organize events near you in all the countries that take part in the campaign, all the Eurodesk countries, and you can take a look on the website. I will share with you. Here you have is the time to move .eurodesk.eu, and here you can have some information about all the opportunities that we promote. And what is most important and where you can find a lot of events, it's on our map. You can take a look at your country, your city, your region, and check what's happening nearby. There are a lot of events. And also for those that cannot join us physically, we also have some challenges like the social media challenge that you can check on Instagram. You can follow us. You can play one of our online escape games. We have two, Mysteries in Riga and Adventures in Berlin. Of course, you can join our series of webinars because this is the series of 4 webinars. This is the second episode of the Talkative Thursdays. And this one is about participating. The previous one was about volunteering. And there are still 2 more coming on learning and on working abroad. And also for those that are interested in designing or just want to try, we have open this design contest that it will be used. The winners will have the chance to make their designs visible in next year's campaign, but also you can win some prizes. And also today, just as a reminder, it's a mental health day. So maybe we can also talk a bit about this topic and how it affects when you're going abroad, culture shock. And it's something that we will also introduce with our guests. And for those that are interested in on it, I will share with you some resource that we have a brochure that it's called Time to Mind. So I will share it on the chat and you can check it. And now I'm going to give the floor to Laura.
Yeah, so hi everyone. My name is Laura and I come from Estonia, so from North European part. And I'm actually here to support Carmen in this webinar because I am the coordinator of the Estonian Eurodesk network. So my main role is actually to spread information about those kind of international opportunities among Estonian young people. And I also belong to the Eurodesk Executive Committee with my passion of youth participation. So I guess that's why I'm also here, because I really think that this topic is super important. And before, when we had a little chat with the young people who are going to introduce themselves and share their experience in this webinar, oh, I already got super excited because you can see from their faces and from their experience that it's just amazing that what the Europe offers from young people for young people. And in my previous life, before I came to work in the national agency, I was also, let's say, a serial Erasmus person who went from one project to another. And I really see that it has had a really big impact on my life. Especially, I would say, career-wise, because my passion is also youth work, youth participation, and those are the topics that are covered by Erasmus Plus to actually gain the knowledge, and I could just start my professional career quite early because of, I would say, European programs. But to actually start, I wanted to say, also keeping in mind the mental health part, you are free to use the chat if you have any questions. There's no necessary need to put on the camera if you don't feel like showing yourself on this webinar. Just to mention, we are also recording it. So later on, we can share this information and share the stories of those amazing young people for the ones that are not right now over here. So you can actually listen to it later on as well. And now I would actually invite you to use the chat. I have prepared some questions, so I'm not asking you to join me with a microphone to speak in English in front of the audience, but more to actually just see who is here and what we are going to, what kind of base we have here. So you can use the chat. I will ask the question. I will also write the question in the chat in case translation goes missing, because I mean, I don't know about you. I'm not the native speaker in English. So the first question is just like a little bit of warm up, is like, how's the weather? How's the weather in your area where you are right now? We are always joking that this is a question where what Estonians ask when they don't know what to talk about. So we will start with, how's the weather? So we can see from the chat that it's getting to autumn. We are all going to be mentally in this winter season soon. So thank you for answering that. My next question would actually be, if you had an opportunity to go somewhere right now related to European programs, where would you go? So we can already see that there are some examples of cities or countries. We can also see some kind of different activities, what you would like to do abroad. We will speak about them later as well. I'm actually super surprised to see like North European countries, because you do know that during this kind of autumn and winter season, it's colder up here, you know. We are already putting our stuff into the fridges to get ourselves prepared for the cold, dark, and long winter. Thank you for answering that. My next question would actually be for about, maybe you have some kind of questions that are related to the programs. So, or some kind of piece of information that you would need to go, I don't know, how to talk to your parents about where you are going, or what are the questions related to the mobility opportunities that have erased. There is no right or wrong answers. For me, it was definitely how to speak to my mother that I'm going to Spain alone for a week when I started my Erasmus Plus career. If you don't have any questions, oh, who financed the projects? All right. Also, when we share the experiences, you can always use the chat. Now that we can see that the chat is actually working, we can use the chat as an opportunity to ask the questions from young people who are going to share their experience. And I would just, as a Eurodesk coordinator in a small country, especially, I would really like to invite you to actually visit the webpage that Carmen sent before, timetomove.eurodesk.eu, because there are all kinds of events across Europe. There are the ones that are online. There are the ones who are on the spot. There are hybrid ones. So just use the opportunity that we have here during October when it's not too dark out yet and you have something to look forward to. Just use the opportunity to see all kinds of events, visit them if possible. If not, there are the online versions you can take part in. I've heard that also the prices for the challenges are quite good. So I would really like you to take part of it. And also after the webinar, if you have some free time, I also invite you to fill in Youth Info survey that we are doing right now as a Eurodesk to actually understand how we could offer you better service to offer you youth information. So that's basically just us, people like me in all different countries, asking you how we could do our jobs better so we could actually reach you. And there is also really nice price for that. Every week they are picking one person to get a 50 euro white voucher for one winner. So I think it's also quite good to actually dive into the Youth Info survey as well. But maybe not much about Eurodesk, Time to Move youth participation or me. I would now go to the young people and talk about their opportunities. So first off, I would give the floor to Finland, also not too far away, to Jaila, who is a super active young person from my northern neighbor, who has done great projects related to Erasmus Plus, and right now she's a university student. So you can share your experience, and later on we will have a discussion, and feel free to ask the questions in the chat, and I will just take a look over there as well. So if there are questions, they will be answered.
Thank you. I actually had a little poster to show you, but apparently I can't share it, but that's completely fine. It says that the host isn't allowing multiple presenters sharing for this meeting. It is fine. It's okay. But I will, however, look from the poster what I'm going to say. So I am Jaula from Finland. I'm 22 years old. I study administrative sciences at the University of Tampere right now, and at the same time I work at the Regional Council of Päijät-Häme. And I personally have experience from a youth-led project, because I led a youth participation project this year for 6 months in the region of Päijät-Häme, which is at the southern part of Finland. And the project was called Päijät-Häme Youth Leadership Program. And for 6 months with Erasmus Plus funding, we got a total of 60,000 euros of Erasmus Plus funding for a total of 25 young people from the region that were in secondary education. So they were from 16 to 19 year olds. And for 6 months, each month we had an event that we held for the youth, and they were based on, all the events were based on their interest and on topics that they wanted to learn more about, but then also about big events that were going on in the world at the time. So, for example, we had a presidential election at the beginning of this year. So we had an event that was focused on the presidential election, and we had the chief journalist from a local journal talk about how is the media and the elections connected, how is media presenting the elections? What is it like to work for the media during the elections? Apparently, it is really it's a lot of long days. And then next month after that we had an art as a way of participation in civic society, and that was led by an artist that showed us what's the role of art when we are leading and when we are living in a civic society. You can learn a lot through art, and you can also present your opinions through art. And then we had the role of media in democracy, where we went to the biggest media houses of Finland, and we learned about what is it like to work as a journalist and what is it like to follow politics from very, very close up. And then we went to Helsinki, and we had a panel for first time for first timers in the EU election. So they were young people that had presented themselves in the EU election, and we had a panel for them. It was an open panel, so there were other people following it as well. And then after that, we went to Brussels and with the 25 young people, and for 3 days we were during May we were learning from different kind of institutions and different kind of expertise in Brussels, and what it's like to be in the Brussels bubble, so on. And we really did break that Brussels bubble for all of those young people. It was really special and meaningful, and now they can see Brussels or European Union as maybe a potential place to go working in the future. And then after that, we had a final conference. And after the project, we've noticed a lot of really positive impact. And because the project was aimed at developing civic competence and democratic skills and leadership abilities, and to increase dialogue between decision makers and the youth, we actually saw that there was a really meaningful impact. And now 2 of the 25 people that were part of the project have represented themselves in the upcoming city elections. So that's really it's really special, and it's a really concrete way to kind of increase democracy, because we need more young politicians and more young people involved in our democracies. And this was all made because of the Erasmus Plus. So we're also very thankful, and they learned about it more, and maybe they're inspired to, for example, apply Erasmus Plus funding when they're a little bit older, or they want to go abroad, or be in another youth-led project in the future, or maybe lead one even. But yeah, thank you.
Thank you for sharing your experience. You can see that you're shining from those kind of different and I would say really large events that you have done throughout the Erasmus Plus youth participation activities. And actually, the first question I would like to ask you is, how did you find information about those projects, and how did you get started? Because I understood that it's actually not your first program. So if you put yourself into the shoes of starting inside those programs, where you would suggest to start?
This was actually my first program. I had never personally been in an Erasmus Plus funded project myself, but when I was an intern at the Regional Council of Päijät-Häme, one of my colleagues had applied for Erasmus Plus funding in his previous job. So he told me, oh, maybe this is an opportunity for you, and you should seek out the national agency in Finland that coordinates the Erasmus Plus funding in Finland, to see if this could come to reality. So I just called them, and we had a Teams call with the national agency, and they helped me form it, and then we just did it. It was really, I will say, as a first timer, and especially being a first timer and in charge of the process of the whole project, it was challenging but the most challenging part was definitely the reporting phase. So when it's all done and you have to report about the project, that was maybe the most difficult one. But also to find information about Erasmus Plus in general, especially because it's a lot of it is not in Finnish. Finnish is a very small group of people that speak Finnish, so a lot of the things, even though that there is mandatory requirements of translating certain parts of EU reports or whatever, it's still, most of it is in English or in French, and or even other languages, because they are very local projects. So if you want to find something similar to this, it could be in Italian. So it's very it was very difficult to find information about it. So it was more like, okay, I have this idea, and maybe I just need to see if this could be possible through this Erasmus Plus instrument. And then I reached out to the national agency, and they were really helpful.
Yeah, thank you for your sharing. And later on, we will also dive into this discussion to understand how your experiences bond together. But now I would invite Isako to share his experience. And you are in Latvia, right?
Yes, so now I'm in Latvia as an EACEA, European Solidarity Corps volunteer. But my experience with youth European projects started 4 years ago, because in the last 5 years I was a city councillor in my town. And as a city councillor with the duty of youth policies, I started to discover more information about European projects. And in fact, my first European project was called Europe in Common, and was an Italian experiment to understand how to connect more the youths with the politics. And after this project, it was led by the youth center of Sarezzo and the youth center of Cinisello Balsamo, I started to get more involved in this kind of activities. And in 2022, I started to participate in some youth exchanges as a group leader. And the first one was in Greece. And after I went in Portugal, Romania, France, and Netherlands. And starting with these youth exchanges, I discovered there are a lot of opportunities for young people across all Europe. And in fact, when you start to talk with other youngsters like you that came from other nationalities, other countries, you will discover more about how they live, the culture, and also you will know more about the Europe and also European Union. In 2022, as I said, I participated in the project in Lyon. That one was more different, was not properly a youth exchange, was a structured dialogue. In fact, the first part was held in Brescia, in Italy, with the people from Lyon that came to Brescia. And the second part in November was us, where we went to Lyon. And the day spent in Lyon, knowing better the MGSE, Maison de Culture et de Jeunes, and also Info Jeune, the youth centers that they had in Lyon, was an amazing experience. And also to know better the French culture, obviously. And after these youth exchanges, I terminate my 5 years as city councillor. I decided to participate in a more challenging experience And I said, why not to do a long experience abroad? And one of the opportunities that was held by the European Union is the ESC, European Solidarity Corps. In fact, in June, I started to search. And why in Latvia? Because there were some opportunities, but I knew in my first youth exchange some people from Latvia, and I think it could be a nice country to live for 6 months or 1 year. And after that, I discovered this project, it was more also about the communication, that is my major. I say, why not? And after I sent the application, I was accepted, and now I'm here. And what I do here in Latvia as a volunteer. I'm in Riga, the capital of Latvia, and I'm a volunteer for Canieris, is the youth center of the municipality of Riga. And we organize events and activities for young people from 13 to 25 years old. And also we can do some personal projects. In fact, one of them will be the next week, the Italian Cultural Night, because I'm from Italy. And also we have a lot of spaces here because the center is in an old school, in a former school, and now the youngster could come here for free and use these spaces to start doing their activity on only play some games or use the spaces that we have for free, obviously. And one of the things that I learned here is that the municipality had a lot of connections with not only with the youngster, but with the youth organizations that are here. In fact, there are more than 70 organizations only in Riga for youth activities. And it's amazing how to discover how they are connected, and you can do some collaborations to reach more people. Yes, but that's all for now.
Yeah, thank you. You have like a super rich background of different activities that are offered by European Union. And my question for you is actually, how do you think people change inside those programs? So if a young person starts in a youth participation project or some kind of project inside Erasmus Plus, what do you think what they gain, or what is the difference, what it will make in the end for that young person?
For?
For the young person.
Okay. I can share my experience as an Italian people. I know that a lot of young people think that they are not good enough in English to participate in this kind of activities. And one of the things that I say to my friends, and also started to participate after me with youth exchanges and European activities, is that nobody is a mother tongue in English in these experiences. So it's normal to do mistakes with the language. It's normal when someone could not understand your quotes or your phrases. That's the sad part, but also the funniest part, because it helps to improve your skill language and also non-verbal communication. And also to know better the other countries. For example, before my first youth experience, no, before my first youth exchange, I didn't know nothing about Latvia, but now I know a lot of information about it. And also that we don't have so many differences that you think that we have.
Thank you for sharing, and I totally agree. I think English, not speaking English correctly, is one of the biggest fears when participating in these programs. But there are people who are participating who don't speak English at all. So you are not the only one, and it's totally normal. You are there to actually learn. So thank you for sharing. And now we will quickly make a flight to Romania to Alexandra, who is also a university student, but has this different type of approach and experience. And you can also share what you have looking forward to in spring. What's coming up?
Hi, everybody. My name is Alex. I am from Romania, citizen of the world, like we all like to be. I'm studying international business now at my university. It's a second master's degree, and I also studied marketing. And my experience with youth-led projects started in 2018 when I participated at my first Model European Union project organized by the law students at my university. If you don't know about these type of projects, they are a simulation of the European Union legislative procedure where youngsters gather around and they become a role, either a member of the parliament, a minister in the council, a journalist, a lobbyist, photographer, or interpreters, chairs, things like this. And we get together for usually 3 days, 4 days, and we try to amend and pass a regulation or the directive or something like this. And it's super fun. It's organized by young people. And that's how everything started. I was a journalist then, and I got the MEU bug, like everybody calls it. And after that, I've helped organize MEU Spain on a distance for 2020, unfortunately, which became 2021, then 2022 due to the pandemic. And participated again in person at a symposium that we had in Prague, then again in Iași, because I had to come back to my baseline, and last year in Sofia. And this year I am the journalist coordinator for MEU Strasbourg, which will happen in spring. And the applications will start at the end of this month. I have here, yeah. And if you have questions about this, like I wanted to know actually if anybody heard about MEU type of projects, Model European Union.
I think you can explain it a little bit.
Okay, sure. So as you probably know, in the European Union, the members of the parliament are being elected by us, and the members of the Council of the European Union get together and try to pass laws, regulations, directives, which are actually affecting all of us, all the members of the European Union. And we try to bring this, at the first sight, complicated, but actually not so complicated procedure closer to the people, and encourage the students to get this, to have the role of someone in the parliament or in the council and actually work on a piece of legislative material. And we do this for a few days. It's fairly easy. We have people who are more experienced in this and can help them. We vote, we make sure that the majority is held and things like this. And the journalists have the role to make sure everything is going nicely and to present to everybody else what's happening. Usually on social media we do that, or we have a real paper, and that's kind of it.
Yeah, thank you for explaining. I have actually only heard about Model European, different models of how to speak about each country's problems and so on. It's really nice to hear some real experience. But what I caught from your experience is that you've been traveling a lot related to the program, so maybe you have some pro tips how to travel alone when you are coming from one country and going to another. You're meeting with a bunch of people you don't know before.
Mhm.
How is that going?
First of all, a lot of organization and organization skills. I always make sure to have my itinerary, to know exactly where I need to go, to have everything in more than one place. Because it happened during one trip that my phone got broken and I did not have access to anything else for a few hours. But I had everything on my agenda also, so I could get to the place that I had to, and just be mindful of the environment, especially as a woman traveling alone. That's very important. I avoid, of course, very late night traveling and things like this, but it's not always possible. Just be mindful. Always tell somebody where you're at, where you're going, what you're supposed to do, um, and things like this.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. It's a really nice thing to just keep in mind. Also, when you are starting to travel alone, how to do it that you are feeling safe and you are being mindful of what you're actually going through. So, thank you for sharing your personal experience. And for the last experience, I would ask Sabrina, if you are here with us, can you share your experience? And briefly for around 5 minutes, and yeah, you can introduce yourself as well.
Okay. Hi everyone. I'm Sabrina from Verbania, Italy, and today I'm here with Alessio Baldi to present you our European Solidarity Project, Youth for Future. I'm here because I was the facilitator of the project, the coach. But I came from also another experience as a volunteer. And the project that we want to introduce to you is actually with a little presentation, but we cannot, but it's okay. It's not a problem at all. It was about, I will give you the floor to say what the project was about, because actually Alessio was one of the volunteers, and it's better to give you.
Hi everyone, it's Alessio here. It's my pleasure to see you today. As Sabrina said, we participated in this solidarity project and we won actually 7,000 euro, and we could spend them from June 23 to June 24. So we ended the project a few months ago, and we created, I think, a nice network between local decision makers, Eurodesk. I'm actually the president of an association. It's called Apollo, and in this network, obviously there was actually the schools. So our main goal was to enhance the youth voice and facilitate encounters with young people who would not normally have access to this type of discussions on main topics that involves us nowadays, like the climate change, the mental health problem of the youth, and so on.
Yes. This project was really beautiful about the network that the Youth Association, with the help of Eurodesk, created. And it was like developing in 5 actions. The first one was about school orienteering after high school, so help young people to make decisions after school. And then we had like 2 meetings with the students, actually 3 meetings with the students. One, it was about gender identity and gender roles. The second one, the third one, it was about a meeting, an encounter between teachers and students, talk about the main issues of the Italian school system, and they are like nominated as future workshop. Okay, so and in this kind of workshops, we created a very beautiful safe space where teachers and students can have like a dialogue in a peer situation, and the topics that came out was actually inclusion in the school system, the logistic of the school system, because our schools nowadays are not that safe for young people even to stay there in the buildings. It was also about mental health in the school system and how can we face that problem in the both point of view. And it was one of the best events that we had for sure. And then they also had the opportunity to create also a meeting with also parents of the student, teachers and students. And then they went to visit our European Commission representation in Italy, in Milan. So to give them like what the project developed and to like put in a higher scale all the topics that came out. It was a very bottom-up project, and we are super proud of it and super involved. Yes.
Thank you for sharing your experience. So a local solidarity project, that's always like a really nice project to do, because you can see the difference inside your own region quite quickly, because the main aim is to find solutions to some kind of problems that you have in the society. So you also had some kind of experience before, but I would ask you a really provocative question, maybe. Is it like, would you do it again? And if you would, what would you do differently?
Yeah, absolutely. It was wonderful for me and for our group of youth. I think I'd do rather the same because the project at the end went quite good. So I think I wouldn't change anything. Maybe you, Sabrina, you as a coach, as our coach, you you would change something. I don't know.
At the end, everything was good. So maybe during like the developing of the project, maybe we had some issues. But then I think now it's a kind of a project that we can also do in the future, because it was about the students, and each year the youth population can change, and the needs can change, and it's always good to put them to give them like a special place where they can really speak and where they can really be listened. So I think it's the thing that can make this project replicable even in the future. And yes, just a little thing. In our province, the youth population is like a minority because we are really few. So for us, just to have a space and to be listened, it's a privilege. And so we have to develop it and to make it better also in the future.
You certainly do. Also, when you speak, you can see that your heart is in the right place. And I hope that you can also see maybe in the future how you could use this funding again to make some kind of difference in your region. Thank you for sharing. And thank you for all the participants to share your experiences. Now I would like to invite all of the participants to ask questions in the chat. But we also have some questions that we would like to ask from all of the experience sharers. So I would give the floor to Carmen to ask some questions.
Thank you, Laura. If anyone wants to share and wants to ask any question, of course, it's open for you to ask. But I would like to ask to you, how did you find the information? How was it for you?
So now
Isako?
it's a free microphone, so
Free
whoever wants to
microphone.
start.
Yeah.
Do you mean
Okay,
how
Isako,
we
go.
found how we found the information about the project.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you go.
Okay, thank you. In my case, for the youth exchanges, I noticed that there are a lot of NGOs where they share on their Facebook pages or Instagram pages the information about youth exchanges where, in which they participate. And also there are some Facebook groups where the organizations share their projects. And in the case of the ESC program, I applied and discovered the project in the site when it's youth.europa.eu, if I remember well. I will share it in the chat. And in that site, there are all the opportunities and informations about all the projects that are held for youths from the European Union. So that's what I know.
Thank you, Isako. And Alexandra, if you would like to share?
Yes, I also use Facebook groups, like Isako said, and something else that I noticed to be very useful are newsletters. So I'm following some relevant websites that interest me, and I also actively search for opportunities on Salto or on Eurodesk, on the Eurodesk website. And lately, I've noticed that there are many WhatsApp groups, especially in Romania. There are some WhatsApp groups where NGOs are posting when they need participants. So if there are some here in Romania, for sure there are in every country. Just need to find someone who's in a group and then get inside.
Yeah, that's a really useful tip. Thank you, Alexandra, and Julia and Sabrina, if you want to add something.
Yeah, so like I told earlier, I found out about the Erasmus Plus instrument through my colleague. So that was really nice because I'm a really big chatter. So I was just chatting like my ideas and I was like, well, maybe this could be someday possible. And he was like, that's possible. And then he shared me about the Erasmus Plus instrument. So that's also if you are with more if you spend a lot of time with people that are maybe professionally older than you, so they have career behind them a lot, they are really helpful usually, and they've heard about things because I was just starting out.
Thank you very much, Sabrina.
So we knew about this project thanks to the local Eurodesk. So it was quite simple. We knew Sabrina and Francesca, who is not here, and we kept in touch about this, and so we ended up about doing this thanks to Sabrina. And
They
Francesca.
came to us, so it was a very local action.
Yeah. Well, that's a really good tip, actually. And at Eurodesk, we have offices in all European countries, and you can check what's nearby you. But we also have the opportunity finder that, well, here I have my colleague, Grazia Canasta, that is the research and information manager, and she can explain you better about this and how to find the information. So, Grazia, would you like to explain us a bit more about this?
Yes. Hi, everybody. I'm very happy to hear from you where you find the information, because maybe, some of you are already aware or not, and were shy to say, but we also have a very nice tool. It's actually a platform, a website where we gather all together all the information, all the opportunities available for young people and youth workers. And this information is divided in 5 main categories, and the categories related to participation and grants. Then we also have the learning, the internships, and volunteering. You can find different opportunities to run your own projects. So the system is very simple. So it is available in different languages. So it's really up to you to look for it. As you can see on the top where there is a deadline live, it means that the program is live, so it has an active deadline and you can apply. If it is in gray, it means that the program will be soon updated, and I really invite you all to look for the information. You can also filter according to the topic, to the period, when the program is live, for the eligible country, or as I was saying, if the status is active, ongoing or upcoming. So it means that we need to find information. So here at Eurodesk Brussels Link, we always look for this information. Then we put it live on the system, so it is always available to you at any time. You just need to have the connection because it's on the website. But the information is also then spread with our dissemination channels. So we also have newsletters. There is a specific one which is called Youth Letter, so it's really for young people, and it's really launched monthly. And in there you can find information. It's really a call for action. So you will find just a few examples of the programs active in that period, but then it's up to you on what you want to look for and if you're looking for more specific content. Of course, if you need more information or more support, or if you have a program that is open to more countries, not just to your country, and you would like us to highlight it, to promote it, of course, other programs, other opportunities can also be promoted on the Opportunity Finder. You just need to get in touch with us, and we will make sure to put the program on the system. Or if it is a national program, you can also ask your national coordinator or Eurodesk in your country to help you to promote your program. And then, of course, what is important is that all the programs available on our Opportunity Finder are free. So whenever you need to participate, either there is a really minor participation fee, but normally we don't put programs where you need to pay for them. So normally they provide you a grant to participate. So this is the idea. This is very important for us. So we have the participation area where you have different projects, different competitions, ways to really actively get involved. Then we have the grants where you receive funding to run your own projects at the local level. And then, of course, we have also the volunteering section dedicated to volunteering opportunities, learning, where you receive scholarships to study in another country, or doing info sessions online, trainings online or on site. And then, of course, we also have the internships, which are very famous because we have a lot of people looking for professional experience, paid ones across Europe and beyond, and you can find these opportunities there as well. Now, for example, we have a very interesting one. I don't know if you were aware, but maybe you didn't. If you were not subscribed to our newsletter, this information, this call was spread on the newsletter. For example, there is a possibility to organize projects as well for the European Youth Event in 2025, which is really a project from the European Parliament run every 2 years. And this is a way really to make sure that young people can work together for 2 days in Strasbourg, in France, at the European Parliament. And now the Parliament sent out this call for youth group to organize projects. So the European Youth Event is an event co-organized by the the European Parliament and young people. So young people, youth organizations, youth groups. So it's really an opportunity, if you are not aware about it, to participate and to run a project. So if you have a project in mind, this is a nice opportunity to meet peers from across Europe and beyond, and organize activities that can be different ones, artistic or not, and activities can be run either inside the Parliament or at the village, which is called, it is the outside area of the Parliament, which is called the village, the iVillage. So the deadline is until the end of October, so you still have some time to organize and prepare. And in order to organize these activities, you will receive funding. So it's really up to you. So I tried really to give you some hints on the latest programs available. So I think it's all from my side.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's really valuable information, and to get to know what calls are open right now. And well, I think we're coming to the end of the webinar, and I wait for you in the next 2 episodes of Talkative Thursdays. Next Thursday it will be on learning abroad, and in 2 weeks it will be about working abroad. So don't miss it. And thank you very much for coming. Have a really good day. Goodbye.
Bye bye.